2. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday Morning Mama. We're going to give this just a minute to reach our Facebook audience, but while that's going on, I want to say hello to all the replay viewers and ask that all of you today, if you are on the replay, to give us some hearts and share this video with the moms that you know in your life who need some Monday morning inspiration. So for those of you who have joined me before, you know that this show is for morning mamas and non-morning mamas alike. But today I want to ask you, how many of you have ever had difficulty choosing joy? I mean, let's be honest, it's not always easy to choose joy, especially when you're in the middle of adversity or in the middle of a trial or something else going on in your life. So if you said yes to that, if that's ever been difficult for you, then this show is absolutely for you this morning. Welcome to the Monday Morning Mama Show, where we bring you fresh and fun inspiration every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. This morning, we are on episode 17 of the Monday Morning Mama Show, and I have got amazing special guests lined up for you today for our topic of Choose Joy. As you may know, this is a tough anniversary day for those of us here in the United States, as it's September 11th, the day of the terror attacks here that truly changed this country and so many of the people in it. In addition, where I am here in Alabama, we are now experiencing the outer bands of Hurricane Irma. So I apologize ahead of time if we end up losing power. I have zero control over that. But there has been so much devastation with the hurricanes down south and the fires out west, as well as earthquakes and whatnot around the rest of the world. And it has really been a tough year, I feel like, for everything going on. And so I thought today, especially today, what a timely topic it is on how we can really tap in and choose joy at times like these. So I want to welcome everyone now who is joining us live this morning. Please comment down below, say hello, tell us where you're joining in from, and whether you're on live or on the replay. As always, leave us some comments, questions, interactions, because that always makes the show so much more fun. But I am your hostess, Jessica Dugas. I am a mentor of moms in this Moms Online Mastermind community, helping you to reduce the amount of stress and overwhelm in your life so that you can discover a balance and joy that truly works for you in a community that loves you through that process. So when I chose guests for today's show, I wanted to have a couple of friends come on. So that's the first here for the show. We have, first and foremost, we have my friend Shannon, who is a mindfulness spiritual coach at Mindful Awareness Awakening, and she is joining us from Canada, which is, I love this. I love that we can connect so far away from each other. I think that's fantastic. It brings a smile to my face. And then we may have my friend Priscilla popping on from Australia. We'll see. The time zone is a little funky, but we'll see if we can make that happen. But welcome, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here. I am thrilled to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. It's nice to start the morning off with your beautiful face and say hello to all the working moms out there, the stay-at-home moms, all the moms that have lots to do. So just happy to be here and spread my love and light and my message to all of them this morning.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I want to jump right into our topic this morning of choose joy. Before I get into that definition, like the good homeschooling mom that I am, I want to get a quick definition of joy from you, Shannon. What does joy mean to you, and what does that word mean to you, joy?
Joy to me means utter and complete 100% happiness that you are feeling in the present moment. And joy as well, to me, it's not just a feeling. It's as though your whole body feels it as well. It feels the positive energy. It feels the happiness. And to me, when I feel joy, complete joy, I'm so happy I could just burst. And I literally just feel like I could just burst into a big ball of light because I'm just so happy in that moment. So to me, it's a level beyond happiness. It's a level of just complete and utter, surrendering to a joyous present moment in my life and in my, time.
Yes. I absolutely agree with that. And I know for me, it really, it's a feeling that just lights you up inside. It's what makes you smile. That's kind of the first thing that I thought of when I thought of joy. And really, I don't know, I just think of happy. Like I see the color yellow, blue skies, birds chirping, kind of visualization in my head. It's even the word, I think, can invoke such a beautiful feeling when you think about the word joy. So joy as a definition says the emotion of great delight or happiness caused by something exceptionally good or satisfying. So you can see by the definition, both in our personal definitions and in the textbook definitions, that it can be hard. It can be hard to tap into that in times that are difficult in our lives, right? So, I mean, look at the definition. I don't think that 16 years ago on this day that there was any great delight or happiness that people were feeling, in those moments. And so, for me, I can look back and see those glimmers of joy. I had given birth to my oldest son, Clay, just a few months before this tragedy happened. So I was able to look at him during that disaster and say, like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. And I'm doing that now in the middle of this hurricane too, is looking over and I see, even though he's on the couch with my youngest daughter right now, and even though he's now 16 and knows everything and we're in this fantastic parent-teen relationship at the moment, I still look over at times like these and I see that same joy that I saw 16 years ago today, thinking, oh my God, I'm so lucky. So I want to hear quickly from you ladies, what was it like for you 16 years ago today? And we lost Shannon, so hopefully she'll be back. Oh, there she is. And welcome, Priscilla. And I'm going to see if I can add, here we go. There's Shannon. Welcome back, Shannon. And so I would like to hear from you ladies. What was it like for you 16 years ago today when you got word of what was happening here in the States? And I want to start by how you found out what was going on. And if you can, mention how or if you were able to tap into any joy on that day. Priscilla, are you able to tell us how you were kind of feeling on that day?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So, excuse me, I didn't realize that you'd need to see me. I'm in the dark.
You're juggling the babies, and we're all about that on this show.
Yeah, so I actually woke up to it. So we're in Australia, and it was, I'm just trying to think. I think I was doing my HSC, and I remember waking up to it and just being just completely shocked, just seeing what had happened. And I just remember just going to my exams that morning and everybody was just like, oh, how are we going to sit this exam? We're all just feeling just really, fearful and scared. And yeah, I just remember as time went on, that dissipating. But I guess being a teenager, you know, it was different to being an adult, in the sense that I guess things feel more out of your control when you're a teenager.
Right.
So yeah, I was very much in that at the time.
Yeah.
In that state of, yeah.
So how were you able to, do you remember being able to tap into any kind of joy that day? Do you remember being able to, despite what you saw going on? And I know it was so, it must have been so different, you know, in every different place around the world. That's why it was important for me to have you ladies on from different areas of the world today, because I think oftentimes in these situations, we can get in our little bubble. And we can think, okay, this is what's going on, but it's really just what's going on to us, not to everybody else around the planet. And so, do you remember being able to tap into that joy, Priscilla, that day?
Yeah, look, I'm sure I did. You know, when you just get into the moment and something happens, and you know, I'm just trying to go back to that, and what comes to me is when you're just in the moment with someone and something happens and you just have a laugh. You can't help it, like, because you're just so in the moment. You're not thinking about what you just saw on TV or anything, you know what I mean? So that's what's coming to me. Just yeah, I can just picture myself just with a friend in front of me and us just getting caught up in laughter about something, you know, just happening in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Shannon, what about you? What went on with you that day that you can remember? And were you able to tap into joy that day despite what you saw was going on?
So for me, I was actually in college at the time. This was like my first year of college. I think I was 19 or 20. And I was in economics class, and I just remember somebody coming in and talking to my economics teacher. And the next thing I know, she puts the big projector on and turns the coverage on live. And when she did that, that's when the second Twin Tower got hit. And I just remember thinking, is this like a joke? Like, is this like seriously going on? Because I was completely stunned. I just couldn't believe that this was going on in the US, because I always thought the US, I mean, they've got the huge military, they've got so much protection. Nothing like this would ever happen to the US. And if it did, you know, it would be the person or whoever did that would be, it would just be silly, because they would know that we would come back. And then all of a sudden, that's exactly what happened. And it went, well, you know what happened after the aftermath. And it's just sad, because, you know, really, we need to be coming together. All nations and countries really need to come together and support each other and just have complete love and acceptance for each other. But here we are, you know, attacking each other. And it's never going to end until we all end it, you know. And it starts with us. And to me, I'm sure that I did find joy eventually, because when things like that happen, it's hard just to fixate on it all day, 24/7. You know what I mean? We're humans. We want to find comfort. We want to find solace. We want to find happiness. And I'm sure that I got together with my friends and we just tried to make each other happy. You know, we tried to boost each other up, because, you know, that's what friendships do. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened on that day, just so that we could, you know, get our mindset out of what's going to happen now, you know, and staying more with the present than worrying about, oh my God, what's going to happen from here.
It's interesting, because looking back on that as well, you know, I wasn't in the same place then as I am now. And so I really had no idea about, at that time, at the importance of mindfulness and the importance of being present. And so I remember feeling a lot of that, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Because I wasn't in that space of understanding to be present and having that mindfulness practice in place. So yeah, I remember a lot more worry. And it's funny, I mentioned to my husband yesterday, with the expectation of this storm coming in, yes, absolutely, it can rattle your nerves a little bit, but I was so calm yesterday. I remember, most of the day yesterday, just feeling like, not blowing it off saying, "Meh, storm's coming," but to the point of, not being worried. And really, when you have a spiritual practice, when you have, these mindfulness techniques and all of that points to not worrying anyway. You're not supposed to get caught up in this space of fear, which I think can be so easy, in times like this when we're, whether we're experiencing scary bad weather or during a terror attack or during the death of a loved one, lots of different instances where it can be really easy for us to check into fear and worry and check completely out of joy. And let me ask you ladies how you feel about this. I feel like specifically when experiencing loss in my family, sometimes we don't tap into joy because there's a guilt associated with that. How do you ladies feel about that as well? Because I feel like for me, when my brother passed away, there were moments when I was like, well, he'd want me to be happy, but I should be sad right now. And I should, I think we get in our head that we should be feeling these things that everyone else is feeling, and we don't want to tap into joy because maybe we feel guilty. How do you feel about that, Shannon?
Well, in looking back at some of the loved ones that I've lost, for me, I didn't feel guilt. I just felt complete sadness that I'm not going to be able to see this person. I'm not going to be able to physically touch them. And they have been such a big part of my life. And for me, it's, when you're at the funeral, it's just hard because you're saying goodbye to that person and everybody's coming up and speaking from the heart. And then that just triggers emotions because you're picturing what that person's saying in that moment that they shared with, your loved one that passed away. And always afterwards, with my family, whenever we would go to, after the funeral, we would get together, for food, snacks, and coffee. We would laugh because we would tell stories, funny stories to lift each other up about the person or something that person experienced with us. We would just try to live the good memories, because that's a part of it as well. You can be sad and remorseful that you're not going to see this person anymore, but it's good to think about the good memories that you shared with them that you can keep with you forever. And that's how we keep a person's memory, alive, to myself.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Priscilla? Has there ever been a moment of where it can be difficult to tap into that joy because of the others around you, because you're kind of picking up on that energy as well?
Yeah, well, I think what it is the judgment of others. Mm-hmm. So because I have a really strong connection to this, I guess, the spiritual realm, I've always been able to connect with them and tap into like the comfort that they're, happy and safe now, and I just know that I'm going to see them again. Like there's no doubt in my mind. Mm. So I'm able to really go there. But yes, I do mourn the loss of the physical. Mm. yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. But for me, it's more the judgment of others, I guess. And then that brings up, the guilt.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Like, I think some people who can get very caught up in grief, it's hard for them to understand how some of us can take those moments and choose joy, how we can tap into that. And it's not so much absolutely that there's a judgment that happens, because I don't think they can understand how that's possible. And so if you had to give one tip, Priscilla, to someone who is having difficulty choosing joy in moments of trial, moments of sadness, moments of grief, what would be one piece of advice you would give them, Priscilla?
Well, I would say just pray or meditate on that person and ask them to show you a sign that they're with you, that they're around you still right now, and they will definitely be answered.
Absolutely. I love that. And we had my grandfather had passed away a couple days before my brother did. And I had done a similar thing where I said, this has been like the worst week ever. Can you please just give me a sign that you're with us? And we had balloons at my brother's funeral. And I remember 2 balloons broke off and went a separate way together. And it was like this beautiful moment of they're together now. And it was such gives me chills thinking about it. It was a beautiful moment.
I got goosebumps as well.
It's one of those things that, like, I just asked, I said, please, are you guys together? Are you okay? And it was just this moment of, it was beautiful. Shannon, what about you? If you could give someone advice, any piece of advice about how they could tap into joy during a time of trial or grief, what would you tell them?
I would say that just because this person isn't physically here doesn't mean that you can't talk to them. My intuition and everything, that when I really listen, I can feel like my words are being heard to that person. So whatever it is that you want to say to that person, whether it's you want to send them love or something happened and you want to talk about it so you can release whatever, please do it. When you pray in the morning or you pray in the evening, talk to that person. Tell them whatever it is that is in your heart, and don't let a word be unsaid between the two of you, because that really is a healing process, and it helps you to release whatever so that you can feel joy and release whatever negative emotions were pending there for you.
Yes, absolutely. And I would say to really, if you don't have a mindfulness practice, if you don't have a spiritual practice, to start looking into adopting one for yourself that feels right for you, because that importance, like we talked about earlier, of being present, being in the moment, and not spiraling down, the rabbit hole, as we call it sometimes, of what can happen when we get in this place of worry and sadness. It can be so easy to go down that road. And so, focusing on being present, being mindful in this moment, and appreciating what you do have, appreciating what you have around you in this moment, and being thankful for that, and kind of letting go of perfection of everything else that you see is really important. So what we're going to do for you guys this morning is we are going to go into a little unconditional love, a little unifying meditation. And I'm going to start this morning by creating some protection and grounding around us, and then Shannon is going to come in for a moment of unconditional love, and then Priscilla is going to help us finish out and release those yucky, not joyful things that are left in us, and that's how we're going to leave you this morning. And really excited that you ladies can be here to share that with all of us today. So if everybody wants to just get comfortable where they're at, and close their eyes and begin taking some deep breaths at your own pace, in through your nose and exhale from your mouth. I want you to imagine a white light coming down from above and filling your body from head to toe with this white light with every breath that you take. And this light brings you peace, it brings you protection, safety, and joy. And continue taking these deep breaths. And I want you to imagine now this white light radiating around you like a bubble. This bubble protects you and grounds you and keep you safe in moments where you may feel fear, worry, sadness, anything that's keeping you from feeling this joy in your life. And continue taking these deep breaths, feeling this joy, feeling protected and safe. So we hear from Shannon now, an unconditional love.
You are a beautiful, unique spirit. Within us all is our soul. This is our true self. Our true self is a ball of light that contains all of our personality, all of our joy, our happiness. It is the true us at our core. Take this moment to really send love to yourself, because you are not your outer shell. You are the person that is within. Send yourself kindness today. Send yourself love today. No matter what comes your way throughout this day, know that you are loved, and that at any given present moment, you can take the time to send yourself love. Because we are imperfectly perfect as humans, we're bound to make mistakes, and we are bound to do things that we may not agree with. But no matter what, we are love, and we can show ourselves love at any given point in time. Take a deep breath and breathe in love. And breathe out whatever negative energy was within you at this present moment. Let's do that again. Breathing in love. And breathing out any negative energy. Release, 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 and gone. Over to you, Jessica.
And now we'll move on to Priscilla, who's going to help us release everything that's left that's no longer serving us today, so that we can truly tap into that unconditional love.
So as you continue to breathe in that beautiful unconditional love. This will transmute anything negative that you may be holding on to. So take a deep breath in with unconditional love, and then breathe out and let go and release anything that you're still holding on to. It's safe to release into the ground now. So you can feel it just letting go, falling off you, transmuting into the beautiful earth energy. The earth wants to soak it all in, take it all for you. So take another deep breath in of that beautiful unconditional love. Feel your heart expanding, and then breathe out and release anything stopping or blocking you. Anything negative that's ready to be released now into the ground. So you should be feeling much lighter now. Over to you, Jessica.
Beautiful. And just sit for a moment in this space of unconditional love with your protection around you. Know that even with this bubble of protection around you, you can still receive unconditional love through this bubble. You can still give and receive through this protection. Notice how wonderful it feels to bask in this space of unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion. And when you're ready, begin to bring awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes in gratitude for this space. And take a final deep breath in through your nose and exhale. When you release, open your eyes. Beautiful this time. Oh, that was wonderful. And thank you so much for being a part of this today. Really beautiful to hear your stories and your thoughts about joy, and for being part of this meditation. I want to give each of you just a moment to let everyone know where they can find you. Shannon, we'll start with you.
Sure. So for all them beautiful mamas out there, I am Shannon Hipson, and my website is shannonhipson.ca. I am a self-love and mindfulness spiritual mentor and coach. So you can find all kinds of lovely information there. But you can also check out my wonderful business page, which is called Mindful Awareness Awakening. All kinds of information about mindfulness and being present with ourselves. And for any spiritual ladies out there who'd like to, be in a group of other spiritual women on their journey, I also have the Unstoppable Hearts group. So they are more than welcome to join there as well, Jessica.
Awesome. And we'll be sure to put those links below for you guys as well. So you can check that out. Priscilla, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at patrickandpriscilla.com, or you can check out ciliving.com.au. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We've got lots of different things going on at different times. We ran the Spiritual Mama's Alchemy recently. And we have been thinking about running that again. So, yeah, just reach out if you're interested.
Awesome. And Priscilla and Patrick are amazing at helping those of you who would like to bring more passion into your relationships. They are an amazing couple to help you do that as well. So thankful for both of you having come into my life over the last year. You both have had, these two, let me tell you something. I have fallen asleep to both of their voices because they are so calming. I huge players in my own personal relaxation routines as well. So I'm really thankful for them, and not just their knowledge, but their calming presence. And probably two of the most relaxing people I know on this planet. So I definitely appreciate you from a personal standpoint as well. So for those of you moms who want more and who are enjoying what you're seeing here on the Moms Online Mastermind page, we do have a membership where you can jump in and really be part of an amazing close-knit community and really tap into feeling that joy more often that you absolutely deserve in your life. And I love my Diamond Mamas, and I would love for you to be a part of that. So you can go to momclub.online and check out our membership there. And I would love to have you. So thank you all again for tuning in to this week's episode of Monday Morning Mama, where I come to you every Monday at 7 a.m. Central for inspiration for every mom. Next week, we are going to be talking about limiting beliefs. So another fantastic topic, and really how these beliefs can get in the way of us living that joy that we deserve to live. And so really excited about that topic as well. Thank you so much again, Priscilla and Shannon, for being with me this morning. And be sure that you tune in next week. Until then, I am Jessica Dugas, reducing stress in the world, one mom at a time. Have a fantastic day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Jess. And
thank you, Jess.
Appreciate you so much as well. Lots of love.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.
You too.